Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Sister Wives with Mary Jane K. Today, I'll be giving my commentary on Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 5, The Year of Release. The episode opens with Cody headed to visit Tony, McKelty, and the twins. McKelty's daughter, Avalon, is very quick to hug Robin. Cody begs for a hug, and Avalon refuses. She seems uncomfortable with him, unfamiliar with him. Now, McKelty is very happy to see Cody. She says she doesn't see him very often. And Cody says McKelty is in a neutral position in the family. She's neutral within their polarized family. Cody really likes Tony. He gets along with McKelty, and he refers to her as special. In my opinion, Cody is calling McKelty special, probably because she is one of his only children who is willing to put up with him and tolerate his bullshit. So he wants to shower her with compliments and be positive about her when he's seething in resentment and anger towards his other kids. Robin thinks McKelty sees that there are two sides to this thing with all the parents and the divorces and everything. She feels McKelty is neutral, McKelty is fair. She sees the two sides, and she thinks McKelty sees the truth. McKelty just wants peace with everyone. I really don't think it's about her seeing the truth according to whatever Robin thinks it is. Now, Cody gets really excited and he tells Robin that he has an idea. He blurts his idea out with the caveat that he knows he should have cleared this with Robin first, and he lets her know that. He thinks that they should buy an even bigger house in Flagstaff. They've already been looking so that Tony and McKelty can visit more often. Because the Goblin's Lair, guys, it is just too cramped. There is just no room. Before Cody looks for a bigger house, is Cody going to pay off the land? Is Cody going to pay back Mary and Janelle their fair share of what they contributed to paying for Robin's House of Horrors? I mean, Cody thinks that it's going to be so fun to have a larger home so Tony and McKelty can visit. And so Cody and Robin have already been looking at homes, but they haven't paid off the land. They haven't paid back Mary and Janelle. McKelty says there is no way in hell. There is no way in hell. Maybe she'd come visit, but she would obviously never stay or live for long periods of time with her father and Robin. Robin knows it's a bad idea, of course. Robin thinks McKelty should have her own life. Cody recalls the wonderful experience he claims he had with his own family when his kids were little, raising the kids, and he still dreams of a big house with many rooms so everybody can come back home. Isn't that putting the cart before the horse? I mean, this guy only has a few of his kids who are even willing to speak to him. He doesn't have relationships or communication with any of his other kids, but he's already worried about having a home everyone can come back to when they won't even speak to him, and they may never. Robin adds that when Cody isn't angry, when he lets go of that anger, he gets more vulnerable, he gets more emotional, and she can tell that Cody really misses the family experience. Give me a break. Cody referred to his family as the obstacles to his goals in life. The man doesn't miss those obstacles. He misses the times when his kids were so small, they were still little, when they only saw him as a faultless hero, when it was easy, when his kids were convenient, and he got his ego fed by them. That's what he misses. Now, we learn that McKelty ate her placenta. Mary isn't a fan of it. Christine thinks it's gross, but she does admit she wishes she tried the placenta capsules. And we know Robin ate her placenta. Of course, she had to feed. She needs the blood. Now, a producer asks Christine about a rumor in church among polygamous sister wives that sister wives would sit around church, they would sit in a group and they would swap kids, breastfeeding other people's kids. Now, Christine says that's not true. It's a joke. It's not a cultural phenomenon in their church. Mary says that in her family, she breastfed a kid that wasn't her own biological child, but it was a medically necessary emergency. It was something they had to do. It wasn't something they usually did. And Janelle never breastfed another mom's kid. Robin, though, says it's true. In their culture, women would breastfeed other moms' babies, and she said it was out of necessity and it was more of a woman support thing, apparently, women supporting women. I would never want anyone else to breastfeed my kid, no matter what. Now, Cody feels he and Mykelti have been healing their relationship regardless of the breakup with Christine. He says he and Mykelti are in a good place, and he feels it's very special to have this time with Mykelti and her grandkids. And I'm sure Cody goes out of his way to love bomb Mykelti because she's one of the only kids who will set everything aside just to ignore his flaws and just allow him to be however he is and just say, oh, I'm having time with my dad. My dad's having time with my grandkids. She just wants to be neutral and get along with everyone. Now, Christine says with Mykelti's relationship with Cody, Mykelti isn't afraid to ask for what she needs. Christine is really glad that Robin has that special bond with Mykelti's kids, and Christine really hopes that Cody develops that bond with his grandkids as well. Christine says Mykelti just isn't afraid to ask for what she needs. She'll ask her dad for what she needs from him, and Christine really hopes that the rest of the kids do the same thing and follow Mykelti's lead. Maddie made it clear to her father that she wasn't going to have him in her life and in her kids' lives unless he could consistently be around. And Cody last episode was saying that was unreasonable. There are no grandparents that can fly across country to be consistently with their grandkids. They're busy. They have this, they have that. My grandfather lived internationally and he came to visit multiple times a year, no problem. So that's a bullshit excuse that he can't fly to the other coast of the United States to see his grandkids consistently. If he wants to, he could do it. I just think every adult can decide what they deserve, what they'll accept, what they won't accept, what they need from their parent. And if their parent can't provide that, and for every adult it's going to be different. If their parent can't provide that, they have every right to set boundaries according to what they feel comfortable with. And Maddie may feel comfortable with one thing, and maybe Mykelti's comfortable with something else. Next, we learn a little bit more about David. Christine has gone on her second date with David. She shows us a photo from their second date, and they look adorable together. They're both glowing. They both look radiant, and Christine has already told David all about her polygamous background, and he already knows all about it because his sisters lived polygamy. But he makes it very clear he doesn't want to live that way. Christine was kind of worried about bringing up polygamy when she was dating prospective men because she felt that they might assume that she was open or more loose. So she was really relieved when David wanted nothing to do with polygamy. Christine shows the picture from her second date. They really look adorable. I love this picture. They really look like they were made for each other. They look good together. They fit well together, and they're both glowing. They're wrapped in radiance in this picture. You can feel the vibe of love. And I am really happy for Christine that she found a real man in David. So Christine gushes. She says David is real, he's solid, he's genuine. And Christine really likes that she can be herself with David. And David really likes Christine as she is for who she is. Now, Christine explains that when she met Cody, he was already married. So she really wanted to be respectful since he had wives. So they talked on the phone. They were good friends before they got married. But it wasn't this giggly, fun thing getting to know Cody the way that it is with David. And Christine feels secure that with David, it's solid. He's just a really good guy. Christine says so far, this is at their second date. And of course, she married him, we know. Christine says he hasn't made any physical gestures of being attracted to her. He hasn't tried anything, not even holding her hand. And so Christine has, this issue about are people attracted to her because Cody was always saying how he wasn't in love with her. He wasn't attracted to her. Cody wouldn't be intimate with her. So she felt this feeling like she's not attractive to people because Cody would always put her down. Oh, Christine talked to David about him being attracted to her. She really likes him a lot. She says it. She's very upfront about it. Christine is gorgeous. David seems like a classy guy. They go well together. And I think Cody was so vocal about how he found Christine unattractive. He refused intimacy with her for so long. and she was with him for so many years that it probably made her doubt herself. And I am just so happy that Christine found a good guy who adores her as she is, who is worthy of her. Next up, Gabe is visiting his mom, Janelle. I like Gabe a lot. Gabe is a deep thinker. He understands emotions. He seems very wise beyond his years. Now, Janelle says that Gabe has been going to university and he also sees a counselor there. He wanted to go see a counselor and it's helped him a lot. So Gabe is making eggs for his mom, and Janelle mentions how particular Cody was about his breakfast. He didn't like the eggs flipped. They had to be done a certain way, exactly to his liking. And my guess is no matter what you did for the guy, nothing pleased Cody, and he always found an issue with his eggs and with everything else. Even if you made it the way he claims he likes it, he's an asshole, and he would probably find something wrong with it anyway just to feel important. If Cody is so particular about things, my thought is he should just do it himself. Gabe remembers how his dad would always demand lemon and hot water at restaurants. And Gabe says his dad is peculiar. And Janelle says Cody just has his ways, Cody just has his routines. But she reveals that Kotex hasn't had much contact with her kids since everything went down with COVID. So we're talking years of almost no contact. So they flash back to old pandemic scenes when Janelle is telling her kids that she doesn't get why Cody is acting like this. When Cody was acting all crazy, making the crazy COVID rules. And Gabe suggests that maybe his dad is going through a midlife crisis. I definitely think that's part of it. Now, in this old scene, Gabe acknowledges that he thinks COVID is real. He knows COVID is real, but he doesn't think this is serious enough for Cody to use it as an excuse to not see his kids for the next 6 months. Janelle explains how after COVID, when things went back to normal, they still couldn't reconcile as a family and get back together again because Cody felt like the boys needed to apologize to him and especially to Robin. Janelle says after that apology demand morphed into that the boys needed to come have a conversation with him. Janelle says Cody's whole mantra now is that his kids haven't been loyal to him and that the most precious person in this family, the angel, cap in hand, who has given her heart and soul, has been disrespected. So Janelle says all of that is bullshit. Of course, she's right. And Gabe says, recently Cody hit him up. It was very strange. He told Gabe he missed him, and he kept phrasing things like Gabe owed him an apology. So Gabe just told him, unless he was ready to have a relationship, unless he was ready to fix things, he just isn't talking to him anymore. That's Gabe's boundary. Take accountability or we're having no relationship. And Gabe has every right to do that. A few days later, Cody texted Gabe telling him that he forgives him and that Gabe needs to forgive him back. So Gabe has no idea what the fuck his dad asked to forgive him for. Gabe did nothing wrong. It's the other way around. Cody owes Gabe an apology. Cody should be the one begging for Gabe's forgiveness, taking accountability like a man, like a father, for the ways he fucked up and how that affected Gabe. Cody is nuts and these kids deserve so much better. Gabriel deserves better. So Gabe is really confused by this, and Janelle really wonders if things will ever change. She wonders if Cody and Gabe might need a counselor. So Gabe told his dad if he doesn't change, if he can't take accountability, he just won't ever see him again, and he's fine with that. He's okay with that. He's seeing a counselor, and he has made peace with that. And Janelle explains that in the beginning, when Gabe was small, Gabe and his father were very close. And Gabe is taking this really hard because they were so close in the beginning. Cody took Gabe on business trips. They had a really good relationship. Cody was an amazing father. He was a totally engaged father. And that continued throughout the kids' high school years. And then all of a sudden, Cody changed. And he said they weren't obedient, they weren't loyal to him, they were disrespectful. So Cody said he was done with his kids, and he basically neglected and abandoned them at that point. So Janelle really doesn't know what it would take to fix things, because she says now everyone's an adult, most of the kids are adults, everyone is busy, everyone is spread out across the country. So Janelle really doesn't know what to do or how to fix it. Gabe thinks it would take Cody really setting things straight, and Gabe thinks it would take an act of God. Basically, I think Gabe wants accountability from his father. Janelle doesn't know what Cody wants. She knows that he thinks the kids let Cody be their patriarch. She knows that Cody wishes that the kids would conform to the way that he and Robin see the world. That's how Janelle perceives it, that he wants the kids to conform to him. She thinks her kids also see it that way. They don't want any part of that, and Janelle knows that. So Janelle is right, of course, and the kids are right that Cody basically wants to be the patriarch of the children, and he just wants the kids to conform. Cody wants to lie, of course, he wants to deny, and he wants to tell us that the things he said out of his mouth on tape are not what he actually said. He wants to gaslight the viewers. Cody says Janelle is dead wrong, he has never been patriarchal, and he says he has never behaved patriarchal in any way. When he said that, he was just angry when he demanded patriarchy. He was angry when Christine was leaving, so it came out of his mouth, but he was never that way ever. And he never said it. He still thinks he never even said it that way. Obviously, Cody is lying, and Cody is trying to reframe the diarrhea he spews to try and change his optics because he knows how bad it looks. Now, Cody said it, and he meant it. It wasn't just said in anger, and he even told Janelle multiple times he would like for her to be more obedient and more loyal like Robin. He expected obedience. He expected more deference. He wanted the ring kissed. And now he says, oh, I said it was a patriarchy just in anger. But he meant it, and I think Cody knows that. Janelle tells Gabe that maybe Cody thought he was just doing what was good for his family during the Rona. And Gabe just doesn't buy it. Gabe knows this is an unpopular family opinion, but Gabe thinks his dad was doing right for the family members that he chose to be with. In other words, Robin and her kids. That he wasn't doing right for the whole larger family. So Gabe again thinks that his dad was doing right for the family members that he chose to be with, but not for the whole larger family. And he would be right. There's a lot of favoritism going on. Now, Janelle thinks a lot of the kids feel that there was some definite favoritism, and that Cody, there was definitely a lot of him considering one person's perspective, meaning Robin's, more than the others in the family. And Gabe agrees, of course, so do I. And Cody says he loved his wives. He loved his kids. All he wanted to do was to keep everybody safe. And Cody says when he got sick, he was hostile and he had a bias from that experience. And he says he was scared. He was on his deathbed. All Cody wants to do is play victim and make excuses for why he wanted to be a dictator during the pandemic when his whole larger family needed him the most and he only catered to Robin and her kids. So he's just trying to continue to make excuses. Oh, I was in fear. Oh, I was scared. So was the whole fucking world. Oh, Gabe says that Cody can say whatever he wants, but if it's brown and it stinks, it's probably shit. I love that. You know, Gabe is telling it like it is. He knows what's up. He's not going to bullshit and dress it up. Now, Janelle says her kids really feel like COVID presented an opportunity for their dad to do what he has been wanting to do for a long time, which is live and make a life with his favorite wife, Robin. Ding, ding, ding. I am so glad they said this. That's exactly what happened. COVID presented the opportunity and Cody took that opportunity. I am so glad to see Janelle and Gabe telling it for what it is. Now, Janelle says Cody had expressed to some of their kids that he wished he would have just waited and married just Robin and never experienced marrying the other women. So he's sitting there telling his kids, I wish I waited and only married Robin and never married any of your moms. Now, multiple kids have come and told Janelle that he wished he would have waited and just married Robin, that he said this to them. He's told this to his kids. And Cody says he never once told any of his kids that. It's a misunderstanding. And he says that misunderstanding has become gossip in the family, and it's like the telephone game. Cody says he never said that. He never told his kids he wished he just waited and only married Robin. It's totally distorted. It's not true. Listen, who has more credibility? Cody's kids or Cody, who lies and twists shit and plays victim on repeat? Cody has loose lips, and I believe Cody said it more than once to his kids. I believe his kids heard this not just once from him, more than once, many times. Now, because the kids spoke on it, Cody would rather call his kids liars and try and throw them under the bus than take accountability like a man and a father. Yet again, Cody puts himself ahead of his kids, even if he has to lie on them. This man would rather call his kids liars than take accountability, and he is so stupid that he really thinks no one can see through to truly how pathetic he is. Cody insists, though, it's untrue, it never happened, even though multiple kids have recounted the same thing. Janelle doesn't know what dad would ever say anything like that to their kids. But she says her kids have many stories like that. So her kids are thinking that this was really an opportunity for him to maneuver into that position with Robin during the pandemic. I believe the kids. I mean, again, Cody referred to his family as the obstacles to his goal in life. It's not hard to suss out Cody's goals or his intentions. Cody wanted to live monogamously with Robin. He wanted to rid himself of his obstacles, and he did everything he could to push everyone out, to alienate everyone, to achieve that goal, to rid himself of his obstacles. His kids can see it. The audience can see it. Stevie and Ray see it. Everyone sees it. It's obvious Cody used COVID as a way to free himself and live monogamously with Robin. And the sad thing is, Cody still could have gotten the monogamous life with Robin if he did this with respect and dignity. If he sat with his wives and kids and he left with honesty and respect and love and dignity and the relationship still intact. Cody was a coward. He hid behind a pandemic. He intentionally hurt his wives and kids to force them out, to break those relationships. So now, when no one wants a thing to do with Cody, and he chose the way of damage and hurt and inflicting pain and suffering rather than doing this in a classy way and taking accountability like a man, no one wants a thing to do with Cody now because of the way he handled this. Instead of pointing fingers, all Cody needs to do is take a look in the mirror at himself. This asshole would rather tell the world his kids are liars than take accountability like a man and a father for the things he said. That, most even average level parents would never tell their kids anything like that. Instead of Cody taking accountability and looking like the shitbag father he is, he'd rather be an even bigger shitbag and say his kids are liars. And that is nuts. I think Cody's sick in the head, in my opinion, allegedly. And I think he thinks in his delusional warped mind that saying his kids are lying makes him look better. And he's doing that for his ego. And it makes him look even worse. And it's sad because Cody has zero self-awareness. Next up, Mary gives an update. She says she and Cody, they've had an interesting year. We flash back to their breakup scene. And Mary felt like Cody was doing all he could to force her out intentionally so that she could leave and he could say his hands were clean. Mary left him. He didn't leave anyone. So Mary decided that she wants to pursue an official termination through their church. So she texted Cody about it, and Cody ghosted her. Cody never even responded. That's the kind of ballless coward that he is. So Mary took a trip to Utah. She met with her church leaders and they granted her a release. It's a spiritual divorce. So it was very hard for Mary. It was heartbreaking for Mary because she didn't intend for this when she married Cody. She thought she would marry him forever. And in their culture, a lot of times people stay together. And it's eternal for them. They believe in the afterlife, that they're sealed to this person. So Mary says in 2014, she and Cody did the legal divorce. She was first wife, so she had the legal marriage. So she did the legal divorce so that Cody could marry Robin and adopt her kids. So now she also broke the spiritual seal that was sealing them for eternity. They're no longer sealed for eternity. So Mary says on all fronts, she and Cody are officially done in all the ways they can be done. So Cody says he and Robin, they were headed home when he got a call from their church leader. And the church leader let him know that they granted Mary the release. And they told Cody many other things he doesn't want to disclose on TV. And Cody says he's pissed. There are things that really upset him. They probably handed him his ass. Mary explains that the church leaders granted the release on the grounds of abandonment. So even their church leaders are saying Cody abandoned Mary. Mary says she knows it really pisses Cody off. He doesn't like that word abandonment. So Mary points out that Cody doesn't feel like he abandoned her. Mary, of course, and the world, by the way, Mary, feels like Cody did abandon her. Cody abandoned Mary. He did. He did. Now, Cody makes the excuse that he held on, he strung Mary along because of Robin. He says Robin felt that if he waited on God, that God would change things in his relationship with Mary. So Cody says he just took Robin's advice. He did as he was told, and he waited, and then he realized it wasn't going to work no matter what. So Cody here apologizes. He says he is sorry to Mary for dragging it out, basically just to appease Robin. So at this time, Mary is really getting used to her new status in life. So Mary wants to remove all the pictures of herself with Cody. And she points out Cody was her whole adult life. For 33 years, she was married to Cody. She was 19 when she married Cody. Mary probably didn't even get to fully find out who she was and know who she was confidently as an adult. She's marrying this guy at 19, spending 33 years with him. She's going to have that now. Later on in life, she's going to really find out more about who she is as a person, as an individual, separate from this identity tied to this man and this family. And I think that's going to be really good for Mary. Robin does her job doing the PR for Cody. She wants us to know in her confessional scene that Cody is very emotional over Mary. He has shed tears over Mary. You know what? The only tears Cody has shed, in my opinion, are probably tears of joy. Cody's a cruel son of a bitch, and Robin should know the world doesn't give a fuck about Cody's tears he shed or Cody's feigned emotional pain. Cody is no one's victim but his own. Any emotional pain he has, he caused himself. Robin says Cody has gone to her and told her he wishes it didn't have to be this way. You know, on the other hand, Cody says he is relieved that it's done. And in his confessional scene, he just seems giddy. He says it's sad, it's heartbreaking, but he's relieved. He moved on a long time ago. But he was afraid of what Mary would do if he ripped off the Band-Aid. No. He doesn't get to make Mary seem like some irrational, crazy, scorned woman that's going to ruin his life. Fuck no. That's not what this is. Cody strung Mary along because he was worried about his own ego and his own reputation in the public. Now, Cody says he was afraid of what Mary would do if he ended things because Mary was never loyal to him. Ever, he says. He was worried about his reputation, he says, because when you get a divorce, your reputation is trashed. Not if you act right. Cody's lying. Cody's trying to rewrite history again. He says here Mary was never loyal. But you all remember the necklaces Cody made his wives in season 5 or season 6. When he made Mary's necklace, he said Mary was always loyal. When he designed the necklace, initially his first thought was to make the necklace a dog before he decided how bad that would look, and then he made the heart with the crown and the fidelis. So he said Mary was loyal back then, and Mary was loyal. And Cody even knew and recognized that she was loyal, and now he wants to rewrite history and say Mary was never loyal. So years ago, Mary was loyal, and now when we rewrite history, Mary was never loyal. He just wants to be done with the thorn in his side, and he feared ending things because of what she might say. Listen, Cody is afraid of Mary. He is threatened by Mary. He was cruelest to Mary over time, privately and publicly. And he knew Mary the longest. She knows everything about Cody. She knows about every skeleton. She knows all of Cody's secrets. She knows all of his bad moments. And he knows she won't hesitate to go off and use her voice and be heard to tell her truths about him. Cody knows he didn't act right, so Cody is scared. And Cody will call it lies. Cody will deny, just like he denies the truths his kids tell. Cody will say, oh, Mary is just a scorned ex. He'll try, but you know what? When Mary speaks, the world will listen. Cody may never have heard Mary's voice, but we will. Cody is so scared of Mary, those balls are shrinking. If Cody acted right, if Cody treated Mary right, I don't think he'd be so worried. There'd be nothing to worry about. Mary feels sad that Cody is talking about their marriage in the way that he is. And she says it feels like the narrative has changed with Cody. She says the things Kotex is saying about her to other people, the things that the people believe that he says aren't true at all. And so Mary says she's starting fresh. She's single now. She has plans. She's very excited, but she also still feels the residual pain. So we learned that Mary hasn't told anybody in the family that she went through with the spiritual release, besides, of course, her own child. So Mary doesn't see it as necessary to tell anyone in the family. Janelle and Christine have moved on, so Mary thinks it would be really weird to call them because they don't talk at all. So Janelle says that Cody called her and he told her that Mary got a spiritual release. And Janelle was really happy for Mary. Janelle thought good for her. Janelle didn't even know that they were still eligible to do that because they aren't a part of their church or their community anymore. Janelle doesn't even know anybody in the church anymore. She herself isn't going to do a spiritual release. And we learned Christine, of course, isn't a part of the church anymore. And she doesn't think the leaders have any say or authority over her life. She doesn't need a spiritual release. She doesn't want a spiritual release. She doesn't believe in that stuff, and she isn't doing a spiritual release. But she knows how important it is to Mary and that Mary believes in this stuff. So she is really happy that Mary went and that Mary did that, and she's happy for Mary. Mary doesn't intend on becoming the bitter ex-wife. She is letting go. Robin's sad, of course. Sad, sad, sad. She says it's sad because there were times when she and Mary and Cody, they would hang out together and Robin would feel the destiny in it. And Robin hopes that Mary continues to want to be friends with herself and with Cody because she still wants to have those experiences together. And overall, Robin really hopes that Mary is okay. It just feels like a lot of empty words from Robin. Now, Mary looks forward to the new year. She's heartbroken, but she will never regret the years with the family because she says she knows who she is. She knows who she is today. Everything she is today is because of what she has gone through and what she's learned. So Mary's really happy with who she is, and she really looks forward to the future. She wants to let go and move forward. So next, Janelle is still sitting with Gabe, and Janelle tells Gabe that Cody does see his sister Savannah, not very frequently, but every couple months he will take the initiative to call. He'll go out with her and have dinner with her. He'll see her. They have fun. Other than Savannah, the rest of Janelle's kids don't really have a connection with Cody. Janelle has talked to Savannah about her father, and Savannah realizes this is who her dad is. He will show up infrequently. He'll have a lot of fun with her when he does come, but it'll be few and far between, and then he's just gone. And so Savannah just accepts it. She accepts that that's all her father can give. But Janelle's older boys really don't feel good about that, and they take strong responsibility for Savannah. Savannah's brothers have really stepped in for Savannah to be there for her emotionally, to be more of have a protective role over her where Cody should be. And they are so connected to Savannah that Savannah has already decided that one day when she gets married, her brothers will walk her down the aisle. It won't be Cody, it will be her brothers who are there for her, who protect her, who are there consistently for her, who have her back. Now, Janelle asks Gabe what he thinks about Cody saying that Robin sacrificed everything, that Robin did everything for this family while she and her kids get treated like dirt. Janelle doesn't remember ever treating Robin badly. And Gabe thinks that Robin definitely has a victim complex. Amen. Tell it, Gabe. Tell it. Because he is right. She has a victim complex. Now, Gabe doesn't blame Robin for her victim complex. He thinks that different people devise different strategies to cope, and that's Robin's way. Janelle feels really bad about the kids. Gabe misses having a relationship with Robin's kids. But there's no relationships anymore, really, because things have soured. He doesn't blame them for falling along party lines. Robin's kids, of course, are taking their mother's side. They're taking Cody's side. And so now they've stopped having relationships with Cody's kids. They fall along party lines. But Gabe doesn't blame them for that. Janelle says her kids have anger towards Robin, and they feel like Robin is always waiting to twist what they do and what they say. The kids see just how manipulative and conniving Robin is. Janelle says the kids are leery of Robin, and of course with good reason. Robin manipulates, she twists, and she analyzes and she perceives things through her warped brain with that victim mentality she has. And the kids are naturally not going to want anything to do with anyone who's waiting to dissect any gesture of goodwill they make. Kids seem to be going with their instincts and their intuition and their gut about this. And they're right about Robin. Just look at how Robin twisted the Christmas gift exchange text thread. All the kids were trying to hang out with Robin's kids and make them part of the family traditions. And Robin tried to manipulate the situation and make it about herself and make herself the victim. And she ruined any chance for the kids to all get together and have a nice holiday kumbaya moment. So Gabe says if Robin actually believes that the family was mistreating her or that the family was mistreating her kids in any way when she was constantly getting favored by their dad, and when they know that they always worked on the relationships with her kids, if Robin actually believes that she or her kids were mistreated, then there is no chance of him ever having a relationship with her ever again. So Gabe feels if Robin truly believes with everything that Robin still feels that she and her kids were mistreated by the larger family, then he wants nothing to do with them. There is no chance of him ever having a relationship with her. I'm really impressed with how wise and mature beyond his years Gabe is. Gabe already knows having a relationship with someone like that is going to go nowhere, and you're also not going to get what you deserve. You're not going to get genuine relationships, and you're not going to get accountability. So he's like, fuck that. I'm out. Peace out. I don't have time for this. He already gets that at his young age. That's priceless to have that wisdom so young. Cody says Robin always strongly supported his relationships with the whole family. He says Robin's last two conversations with Janelle were her begging Janelle to have a relationship with her. Cody says Janelle is a relationship coward. No. Robin isn't entitled to these relationships with these women just because she married Cody. Robin manipulates everything. She manipulates everyone. She twists everything and everyone and everything everyone says. And she is always the victim. On top of that, she fabricates shit and she lies and she gaslights. And on top of that, she is incredibly disrespectful. If Janelle doesn't trust Robin and she doesn't want a relationship with her, she is under no obligation to have one just because Robin feels entitled to it. If Cody wants to call people cowards and relationship cowards, maybe he should look at himself first. He should start with himself. That's so rich coming from Cody calling Janelle a relationship coward. I can't even believe it. Gabe doesn't have a lot of respect for Robin, so he says it's really hard for him to try and rationalize and understand her actions and her behaviors. Gabe thinks maybe that's the reason she says they always hated her, because she doesn't have any of the family's respect anymore because of all the fucked up shit that she does. Janelle doesn't know what happened with Robin, but she thinks there's a lot of triangulation and a lot of ego stroking, and there's a lot of manipulation that goes on with Robin. Ding, ding, ding. She got it perfectly. Triangulation, ego stroking, and manipulation. Perfect. Now, Gabe, the thing he wants most out of all of this is a relationship with Robin's children again, because he used to be very close to Aurora. He even was close with Dayton, and he would like to have good relationships with them again. But Gabe isn't hopeful for relationships with his dad or with Robin. Janelle knows that Gabe is at peace with his dad being absent in his life, and Janelle hopes all her kids have peace with that. Gabe doesn't know what his dad's beef is. He really doesn't know what his dad's problem is, but Gabe thinks it's because he sat his dad down to have an adult conversation with him, and he feels Cody couldn't handle the fact that Gabe was trying to have a calm and collected conversation communicating with his dad. And Gabe told his dad, "You're hurting this family. No one else. You're hurting the family." And Cody came back telling Gabe he wasn't loyal, just like his mother. Do we really have to wonder why the kids don't want anything to do with their dad? Cody says Gabe is lying. Cody says the conversation that Gabe is referring to, none of that ever happened. Again, Gabe is lying. He's lied like 3 times this episode so far, according to Cody. I can't believe Cody could even call himself a man and accuse his children of lying when they're up here telling the truth. And just because it's negative about him, Cody doesn't want to take accountability because his precious ego can't fucking handle it. He would rather call his kids liars. Cody wants to call somebody a coward. Instead of calling Janelle a coward, he should be looking at himself. In my opinion, Gabe isn't lying. Cody is. And Cody is a coward. And, referring to Cody as a ballless wonder, it's far too generous. This man would rather call Gabe, his child, this young man with one of the biggest hearts and more wisdom than Cody would ever wish to have. One of the guys with one of the biggest hearts in the family. Cody would rather call this kid a liar than own up to the diarrhea he spews out of his mouth. You know what? It's like Gabe is the man and Cody is the child in this relationship with the behaviors we see from Cody. Cody will never reach Gabe's level. I think Cody could learn a lot from Gabe. Next, instead of Cody taking accountability, Cody decides to blame COVID. Cody says a lot of problems happened during that time, and the people whose relationships had the fortitude to survive, those relationships survived, others didn't. And Janelle feels it's interesting that Cody throws around that she isn't loyal, that she doesn't respect him, because Janelle thinks respect is a two-way street. Loyalty is a two-way street. And Janelle would be right. Cody expects one-way respect and obedience while he disrespects everybody around him. It's unbelievable. Janelle says Cody wasn't like this before. In the past, he never used those words. He used to talk about love. He used to talk about charity. He used to talk about working together as a team. And now it's all about loyalty and disloyalty and respect and disrespect. And Janelle says Cody changed. Janelle tells Gabe she stuck it out with Cody for them, for her kids. And she says the kids were home. She wanted to wait until they were out of the house. But, when the kids grew up and Cody wasn't a great father, at that point she knew she could leave. And Janelle's really frustrated with Cody. She has seen with other women who have divorced, after the divorce, the father goes MIA with the kids. And she feels really bad about this. Cody is very sorry that Gabe feels this way. He says he reached out multiple times to Gabe only to get rejected by Gabe, but it's not from a lack of trying on his part. When your son wants to have an adult conversation and communicate with respect, and you come back because you don't like what your son is saying, and you say things like, you're just as disloyal, you lack loyalty just like your mom, you're just as disloyal as your mom. How could Cody imagine that that could possibly further opening the door to a relationship with Gabe? Sending a text message telling your son you forgive him when he did nothing wrong, when you actually owe an apology to him, that's not reaching out. So that's not trying. What Cody's doing isn't trying. He's not doing shit. Cody still hasn't taken any accountability with Gabe. Cody still hasn't owned his mistakes. Cody still hasn't apologized for how his neglect and how his mistakes hurt Gabe or his siblings or his moms. Forgiving and demanding forgiveness when Cody hasn't taken accountability, that's not reaching out. Cody isn't willing to be inconvenienced. He isn't willing to have tough adult conversations with his son. He isn't willing to accept criticism. He wants Gabe to just kiss his ass and make it easy. He wants Gabe to ignore everything else, anything that might be difficult or inconvenient for Cody, anything Cody might have to take accountability on. Gabe feels things. Gabe is very sensitive. Gabe understands emotions. Gabe seems to be very wise and very self-aware. Gabe also seems to really understand how to communicate. If Cody wants a relationship with Gabe, he needs to take accountability. Gabe seems to need accountability from his dad, and all he is getting is his dad shit-talking his mom, saying you're disloyal just like her. They're not going to get anywhere if Cody doesn't mature a little bit and pull up his big boy panties. If Cody thinks that's trying, then maybe he should just stop, unless he really gets off on hurting Gabe, just like he gets off on hurting Mary, because Cody's a cruel motherfucker. Now, Cody is a loser. We all know that. And all of Cody's kids and all of his ex-wives are too good for him. Cody really hit the lottery with his family, and he squandered it all. He lost it all when he stopped being grateful for his family. And the only way for Cody to rebuild his relationships with his kids is giving them what they deserve, giving each of them what they need from him. Respect goes both ways, and it's time Cody gave his kids respect. It's time Cody took accountability with his kids. If Cody really gives a fuck about his kids before it's too late with every single one of his kids, that is what he will do, because tomorrow isn't promised. Cody needs to stop saying that he's trying, and he needs to actually do this from his heart, from his conscience, because his kids deserve better. If he can give Robin better, if he can give her kids better, he can do the same for his other kids if he wants to. Here's a suggestion. The next time Cody reaches out to Gabe, maybe he shouldn't insult his mother, Janelle. Gabe does counseling, and Janelle thinks all of the kids need it, that they all need it in the family. And Gabe explains that you don't go through your family crumbling to bits and not need therapy. Janelle knows that for long-term emotional health and well-being, that they need to come to some type of resolution with the kids. But right now, the kids are still processing a lot. They're still going through understanding all of this. So Janelle really wants to see the kids come to a place of peace, if not reconciliation, with Cody. At this point, Janelle isn't even sure reconciliation is possible for her kids and Cody. I don't think reconciliation will be possible with most of the kids unless, by some miracle, Cody is willing and able to take full and genuine accountability. Next, we hear from the world's biggest victim, Robin. Robin is crying about how this is all so hard for her. And so now it's Christmas Eve, it's 1 a.m., Robin is in tears, because it's her first Christmas since Mary and Cody broke up, and no one is coming to her Christmas. It's just going to be Robin, her kids, and Cody. Robin looks miserable, and she looks back on everything that's been happening, and she says she is completely and utterly heartbroken. She thinks about wanting to be in a plural family as a young girl, and As she got older, she really went through the process of figuring out if she wanted to live this way. She got older, and then she got a testimony of plural marriage. Yeah, when she found out she could live off the backs of her sister wives and they would be her money tree, she was all in, baby. When Robin saw Cody's family, she was excited to be a part of it. And she says she liked how they were all one family. And she came in like a wrecking ball and she demolished it. So what she loved, she wrecked. And keeping the man all for herself and her kids was her priority. Let's not forget, Christine called it when Robin came in. She said some people come in and they just want the man and not the family. In my opinion, Robin got what she came for. She's legal wife to boot. She's living in a home paid for by Janelle and Mary off of the backs of her sister wives. All her debt is paid. She has a nanny. She's living the good life off the backs of her sister wives. And if she wants to leave and divorce Cody, she is protected legally. She gets half of everything Cody has, all of his coins. Now, Robin says this is not what she envisioned her life to be. She wanted to live plural marriage. So now she's struggling with her identity and what it means. Robin doesn't even see her future anymore. She can't even make her vision boards, guys. And through tears, she says the hopes and dreams she had, they're all just disappearing before her eyes. Poor thing. Let's get the violin out, guys. Let's get the world's tiniest violin for her. This bitch is crying because the shit she posted on her vision board didn't manifest the way she imagined it would. You know, Cody's kids' whole worlds have erupted. They don't even recognize their dad anymore. And we don't see them crying like this. And Robin wants to cry and play victim and bitch about her shattered dreams. You know, Gabe called it when he said this goblin has a victim complex. Exhibit A right here. What a selfish witch she is. How could she be struggling with her identity even? Let's get this straight. Robin was a divorcee from a monogamous marriage when she married Cody. She was a monogamist for longer in her life than she ever lived polygamy. And even as a polygamist wife, when she entered the Brown family, she still was the favorite wife who managed to get legal wife status. She managed to get most of Cody's time, money, and investment, even as Cody neglected his other wives and kids to be with her and meet her needs. Robin doesn't know shit about being a true polygamist wife or prioritizing the larger family over herself and her kids. She has no idea what the sacrifice feels like. Maybe to learn more about that, Robin should ask Janelle, Mary, and Christine before she bitches about how she struggles with her identity now, because she lived as a monogamist most of her life. Bitch, please, I am sick and tired of her bullshit. Robin is miserable in tears, saying that she can't see her future anymore. But let's notice something. As Cody and Robin are falling apart, Mary, Janelle, and Christine are looking forward to the future. For the women who left, their lives are full of potential. They're full of possibilities. And the women are in positive energies, positive vibes, looking forward to their lives. As Cody and Robin are falling apart, Mary, Janelle, and Christine are living their best lives ever. They're happier than they ever were. Now, Robin thinks of the future and it makes her cry sad tears. And I think she's thinking about potentially being stuck with Cody. You know, when Robin decides to get unstuck, she won't hesitate to throw Cody under the bus. And as a legal wife, she doesn't have to worry about finances if she wants to leave. She doesn't have to stress about money if she wants to leave, or assets for her kids. I don't give a fuck about Robin's disappeared dreams. I want to know if any of you give a fuck about her disappeared dreams that she's crying over here. Now, Cody says Robin is holding on to something. He says she has a spine of concrete and steel, and she has been holding on to the dream that Cody sold her of his family. And at this point, Cody's over it. He got rid of the obstacles to his goals in life, and he wants to move on. He's ready to let go, and he wants them to tell themselves and really believe that it was never meant to be. It was never meant to work. Cody says they had kids and the kids can still have a great life, just not with their moms and dads together anymore. Cody's good to move on. It's not weighing on his soul. It's not weighing on his conscience. So it's going to be Christmas on the next episode. And Mary told Robin and Cody she wasn't doing Christmas with them because of the separation with Cody. She's no longer really going to go to holidays. So Robin is acting like she's beside herself. She's shocked that Mary wouldn't be there when she should expect Mary not to be there anymore. Now, Mary says when she looks at what their family has been in the past and what it is now, it's sad. She feels sad. And she points out when you find out your husband didn't love you or the other wives in the family, she wonders why it took so long to come to this point or why Cody even started the family in the first place if he wasn't interested in it. I personally think Cody did this for his ego and to assuage whatever insecurities he has from his past. I don't think Cody really had this plural family because he believed in the faith and it was so important to him to live life this way and blah, blah, blah. I don't think so. I think deep down, Cody did this for his ego and to cover up his insecurities. Oh, look, I have 4 wives. Robin says she really loves her kids and she's not feeling really in a positive emotional state, but she needs to make sure that her kids have a very special Christmas. So Robin is crying and she says it's so hard and she complains that she doesn't get to have the perfect Christmas because the family isn't here. Listen, it's not all about her. Does she remember last Christmas when Cody refused to even call his kids or drop off presents and he just only had Christmas with Robin and her kids without even texting his other kids because he felt like it was unsafe? How does Robin think his other kids felt last Christmas? And now she wants to cry and bitch that her Christmas isn't perfect. She just needs to shut the fuck up and think about others ahead of herself. She's no victim here. I'm sick and tired of these people feeling sorry for themselves and the self-pity. Here, Robin is crying because she doesn't get to have the perfect Christmas because the family isn't here. Let's remember, Robin keeps claiming the family rejected her, they rejected her kids, they bullied her and her kids, and now here she is in tears because the people who reject and bully she and her kids won't be there for Christmas, and so she won't have a perfect Christmas. And their absence makes her a victim. Her Christmas isn't perfect now. Boo-hoo. I am sick of Robin. I really am sick of her. She isn't the victim she thinks she is. And the fact that she feels sorry for herself says a lot about her personality type, in my opinion. She really is no victim. Now, Christine says past Christmases, when she reflects back on them, they were fun with the whole family. And Janelle agrees, yeah, Christmas was fun with the whole family, but now it's a new time. And so now with the changes in the family dynamic, they have to create new Christmas traditions and new ways to celebrate. And they can celebrate exactly the way they want to. Now, Cody prays now that God saves he and Robin. His main prayer isn't for his kids and improving his capacity to be a father, fixing those relationships, making peace with the mothers of his children. No, no, no. He wants to pray to God about he and Robin. Cody prays now that God saves he and Robin. And he says they have a wonderful relationship, but they've had a lot of struggles with the pain of this experience, the pain that has been caused by these divorces. So he and Robin have struggled in light of that. The pain has caused trouble for he and Robin. So Cody is angry and resentful about looking like the shitbag that he is. And he probably, in my opinion, takes it out on Robin because she's the only wife left. And Robin probably checks Cody constantly, reminding him she is legal wife and she can walk away any time she wants with half his coins. In my opinion, Cody's balls are in a jar on Robin's bedside table. Cody's really angry. Cody prays that God saves he and Robin and the special bond they started out with. And Cody wants to maintain that special bond even after the family breakup. How can Robin maintain a special bond with someone she no longer respects? Robin says she's heartbroken And the only thing that keeps her head above water is prayer. She had to take a moment to feel out the process, to process this, to heal, to go through her emotions on Christmas Eve so that she can get up and make Christmas special with a happy face for her kids. And she knows she can't afford to let the side down because Cody's going to struggle on Christmas. And so she has to be there to really coddle and manage him to make it a good day for her kids. So she can't let herself have these emotions. So Robin says she expected her life to be one way and she doesn't know now how to let that dream go. She loves the family. She can't do without the family. She can't let the dream go of the one big family. But let's remember, Robin refused to give some of the lion's share of the time Cody invested in her and her kids. Since she was favorite wife, she refused to encourage Cody to give some of that time and attention to the other wives and kids. And when the other wives and kids complained about it, Robin gaslit the wives, she gaslit the kids, she gaslit viewers, saying that's not really how it is. Because the wives have bad relationships with Cody, it may seem like he's not around, but he's around equally. And she would gaslit, she lied on Cody's behalf, she tried to manage Cody's image. She was never honest. She was never accountable for being favorite wife. And now she wants to talk about how she misses everyone so much and she can't let go of the dream. Robin never encouraged Cody to be more fair and equal for the sake of the larger family with all of his wives and kids. Instead, Robin took all she could from this family, emotionally, financially, and otherwise. She took most of Cody's time. And as long as she and her kids got all of their needs met and everything they wanted from Cody, they didn't give a fuck about how the other kids and wives were doing, even when Cody wasn't around, when he was spending all of his time with her and her kids. Robin enjoyed the spoils of being the favorite wife, never taking accountability for it, never giving a fuck how neglected any of the other homes were by Cody, never considering how neglected Cody's other kids felt when they weren't seeing their dad. Just as long as she and her kids were getting all of their needs met by Cody, she didn't care that it was at the expense of Cody abandoning his other wives and kids. Yet now she wants to cry about how sad she is about the dream, how sad she is about the family, how her Christmas won't be perfect because the family isn't all there. But this is the same family she claims rejected her and her kids. This is the same family she claims bullied her kids, bullied her. But now here she wants to be all about the family. She misses the family. She's a victim. You know, maybe when Robin was getting all that favorite wife treatment from Cody, she should have thought about how all the moments she and her kids had with him, he was absent, neglecting his 3 other wives and all of his other kids during those moments. He was investing everything in Robin and her kids, prioritizing her, neglecting everyone else. I didn't hear Robin mention the family once then, just as long as she got all the attention she wanted. Where was the family then? Did Robin think about the family then when she was getting all of Cody's time and attention? Was she worried, maybe Gabe misses his dad. Maybe Christine's kids miss their dad. Maybe Janelle's kids miss their dad. Maybe Mary's kid misses their dad. She never thought about that. She didn't give a fuck as long as she and her kids got everything. Where was the family then? Did she think about the family then? That does it for this episode. I'll be back next week with the next episode of Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 6, He Delivered Me from All My Fears. It's going to be the Christmas episode. It should be entertaining. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.